एक्चुअली राइटअप में वो उसमें ही बोला था एक्चुअली। हाँ, अच्छा वो गलत हो गया।
Dr. Manikantan ji. So, we are very happy and honored to introduce Dr. Manikantan ji, an esteemed Ayurvedic doctor who has made significant contributions to the field of Ayurveda, Marma, and Panchakarma. Under the guidance of Gurudev, Dr. Manikantan ji played a pivotal role in introducing these ancient healing, and he is also the founder, director of Sri Sri Ayurveda and established the Panchakarma unit in Art of Living campus. As the chief trainer for Art of Living Satsang Singers Training, he has nurtured and groomed grade 1 singers, shaping the musical landscape of Art of Living Satsangs. Dr. Manikantan ji is also a talented composer, having created many popular Art of Living bhajans that resonate with audiences worldwide. In addition to his musical pursuits, Dr. Manikantan ji serves as an international faculty member for Art of Living courses, sharing his knowledge and expertise with individuals seeking holistic healing and personal growth. As the founder director of Sri Sri Ayurveda, he continues to be a guiding force in promoting the principles of Ayurveda and wellness practices for a healthier and more balanced life. We are privileged to have Dr. Manikantan ji amongst us, a visionary leader and healer dedicated to spreading the teachings of Ayurveda and fostering well-being in the global community. Thank you so much for being here with us, Manikantan ji. So we have a set of questions which we have from our group. So we can take them one by one. Is that fine, Manikantan ji?
It would be helpful if I give an introduction to what is Marma. Generally,
Yes.
if that is one of your questions, I'll answer it before being asked.
Sure. Yes.
So,
over to you, Manikantan ji.
So before starting directly about Marma, I would like to introduce something called Nadis and the Prana. Nadis means the channels. In English, you can translate it as channels. But these are not physical channels like blood vessels, nervous system and all, nerve fibers and all. Nadis are subtle channels of prana, which is the life energy. Prana is what decides how your health is, how your mind is, everything. It's a link between both body and mind. So prana flows through the nadis. Now what happens if anything flows? There is a challenge. The one challenge is that there can be some blocks. Some places, like then every channel has some relay stations. I would refer this Marma points as the relay stations or the communication centers on the nadis, the channels. So what we do, marmas are the points, the vital points, like which can be like it is classified into different aspects according to the effect of marma. So initially what happened, the knowledge of marma was not used for the balancing energy and health perspective. It was used by the warriors, the soldiers on the war field, so that they know that this knowledge helped them to protect those vital points from being assaulted or injured. So you have to, the warriors are taught, protect at any cost these vital points, because if you are assaulted, if you are injured in these vital points, depending on the effects, the classification, you might even lose your life. So some marmas are just rujakara marmas. Rujakara marmas means it just pains, extensive pain. Normally in any other part, if you are injured, you will have pain. But in this rujakara marmas, what happens is if you are injured, it will be extensive pain. Any amount of medicine cannot be helpful in those cases immediately. It will take a while. Then Vaikalya, deformity. Certain marma points are like, in the long run, it will cause deformity to the body, like loss of function and sensation, like that, So then, like that, there are 3-4 other, for total 5 classifications like that. One being Sadhya Pranahara. Then one is Kalantara Pranahara. Kalantara Pranahara means if you are injured in these points, you are going to lose, your lifespan is shortened by the injury. You are going to lose the life sooner or later. Sadhya Pranahara is immediate. In certain points, if you are injured, like those days, archery was main thing, like the Gada Prahar. Gada used to be a blow from Gada on these Sadhya Pranahara marmas will be fatal. Immediate death will happen. So I'm just giving you an idea what marma, what marma is. It is like not just one type, it is of different types. And the size of the marma, some are like 1/2 inch, some are like the part of your palm, size of your palm. Some are 2 inches, 8 inches, something like that. And then there are like, these are the points in the body, the landmarks in the body, where muscle, tendons, bones, joints, and nerves pass or join, the junction of these things. So the marma points are classified according to that also. And marma treatments are always like, marma treatment is not one. There are different types, like applying pressure, gentle pressure, light pressure, just massaging the marmas, and applying herbal pastes on the marma, using gemstones or metals, certain metals according to the requirement and the type of marma. So there are different types, but we are dealing with the subtle aspect of marma practice. Applying no or gentle pressure on the marma points. That is a Sri Sri marma protocol. So what happens applying marmas means you are generating energy there, not generating, activating or stimulating the energy, but to balance. So the module, the treatment protocol is in such a way that it doesn't aggravate the energy. It stimulates or activates in a sense that it will be balanced by the intervention of the practitioner. So what happens when marma is done? Activating, at the same time balancing. This is a uniqueness of our marma practice. Harnessing their healing potential. So what happens using the marma points? One can enhance influence the flow of prana, or enhance the flow of prana. If the prana is flowing in the proper channel, proper way, proper balanced way, that is called health. If it is blocked in some places, these are the marma points where it can be blocked, and through the protocol of marma, you can activate it again and the flow is re-established again. You heard about chakras, no? The 7 chakras, main chakras. You're all practitioners of meditation, regular practitioners of meditation, know, and you have experienced the chakra energy at the chakras. There are 7 chakras. This is a gross classification. I would rather call them as main, the fatal marmas, and the marmas that are relevant for spiritual practices. These are all most of the chakras are marma points. Like the crown marma is called Adhipati, the last Sahasrara. From Muladhara to Adhipati, Hridaya itself is a marma, Vasti is a marma, Nabhi area, Nabhi is a marma. Nabhi is the center of all the 72,000 nadis which are prescribed. mentioned in the scriptures. It's the sender, the kanda, the root from which the main part of the root from which all the roots are originated. Okay. Now Marma points are considered to be what? It's a link, the junction between the physical body and the subtle body. And they are in the pranamaya kosha. Though we are accessing it in the body, marmas are situated in the pranamaya kosha. Annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, and anandamaya kosha. There are 5 sheets of existence. We have 5 different sheets of our body. You can call the together all the 5 sheets is like our body, total body. So just generally it is classified as gross, subtle, and karana, the causal. So the subtle body and the physical body have almost the same kind of composition, the 5 elements, then 5 tanmatras, and all these things are there in the subtle body also. I would rather call the subtle body as the blueprint of the physical body, gross body. So whatever diseases we are experiencing, whatever health we are experiencing in the physical body is based upon the state of the subtle body. So marma points are situated at the junction of these two, and the prana is the connecting link of subtle and gross body. So you know the importance of the balancing the marma, balancing the prana. So marma points are used, you have heard the prana, sources of prana, food, meditation, food, rest, blah, 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 all these things, sleep, everything. So this is another way of Ayurvedic way of balancing the prana, enhancing the prana. Enhancing the prana does not mean it is over activated, and overactivation is also not good actually. And in one major difference between marma and other energy practices, healing practices, is that we are sadhaks. The basic eligibility is being a sadhak, a practitioner of meditation. So you have a protection of shield of protection in the form of your meditation that helps you, that protects you from giving or taking energy of the person. When you give marma to another person, you are not doing anything. You are not bringing the universal energy. You are not using your own personal energy. So you are safe. In many practices, I have heard there are repercussions. The energy has got a recoil on the practitioner that makes them sick and vulnerable soon. So that's why we recommend you practice, while practicing marma, you practice your meditation practices also. So in summary, it's a profound aspect of Ayurveda encompassing the physical, energetic, spiritual, emotional dimensions of healing. So by understanding and using the marma points, you can aim to have balanced health, good health, restore the balance in mind and body, promote the overall integration of mind, body, and spirit. So this is the basic description about what are marmas. Param, are you there?
Yes, Bhaiya, I'm there.
Now,
that was very enlightening and insightful description about marma. Thank you so much, Bhaiya. So whenever if I can ask questions from our group, whatever they are, I can start asking them, if that's fine now.
Yeah, you can ask.
Sure. So why should one actually learn marma, and how will they be benefited as a practitioner?
I said the basic qualification or eligibility to be a marma practitioner is being a regular practitioner of meditation and other spiritual practices, Sudarshan Kriya, all these things. It will help them. It will give them a grounding, so that you don't become airy-fairy while doing or after the marma. The practitioner need a shield of protection for themselves. We don't want the practitioner to be sick. So The basic purpose of learning Marma, I would rather say it is like seva. First of all is seva, service to other person, because it's a punya vritti. It's considered as a punya vritti, bringing solace and bringing some relief to a suffering person. Bringing balance in another person is considered as punya vritti. Basically, the vaidya vritti is considered as a punya vritti. That's why Gurudev also says, quotes from the scriptures, the Puranas, Vaidyo Narayano Hari. So this is part of the Vaidya, and it's a very special aspect of Ayurveda, and only merited people get to practice Marma on other people. It is it's a like both way. It is right. You earn Marma punya from while doing the Marma, and also you can consider yourself as a punyatma because you are getting a chance to learn Marma, practice Marma on another person. And you also, it's not just seva, you can also aim to have a physical and mental balance for yourself while practicing Marma.
That's wonderfully explained, Bhaiya. We've also been getting questions right now that, can Marma be helpful in cases of Parkinson's? And does it help a person in coma? So what all conditions or ailments and diseases can Marma be applied?
I would recommend this as a general practice for balance of health, balanced health, which means that it's not just the patients. Also, a healthy person should go through Marma once in a while as a regular means, not every day. Anyways, it's not suggested to be practiced every day by practitioners other than a doctor, because there could be some health implications where you have to avoid giving Marma also. Those things are part of the training. I don't want to get into the details of those things. But I would rather recommend you treating a person using Marma is the doctor's job. So you can aim to give Marma according to the prescription of the medical doctor, or generally you can give Marma to anybody who is having a balanced energy, and preferably a practitioner of meditation also. Without stopping their medicine and treatment, you can do that. And of course, there are so many healing experiences reported all over the world. The last experience, I would rather say, one of our volunteers had an excruciating pain in the left arm from the neck. The doctor suggested it could be a nerve impingement. Spinal nerve could have been, or demyelination, or whatever pathological condition it could be. So they suggested to take painkillers, and any amount of painkillers was not helping. So he called me, I suggested few sessions of Marma, and within few sessions of Marma, without even going for MRI and X-ray, his pain was gone. And it is a sustainable thing. It's not like, because with the help of the painkillers, it will not be a sustainable relief. But with the help of these practices, especially Marma, it is a sustainable relief. That means the healing happens inside. It's not a symptom relief. So that was the reason. For that matter, I would rather suggest anybody having any pain anywhere in the body, or neurological or muscular complaints, or even the internal organs, any treatment is happening, you're undergoing some treatment. Without stopping the treatments, you can undergo the sessions of Marma as suggested by a practitioner.
Bhaiya, as you were explaining this so beautifully, we have also got a question right now that we know how Marma has been helping, but is it also helpful when it comes to people who are into addictions, and for them to, get away from addictions? Does Marma also help?
Of course. The problem with addiction is their energy levels will be very low. The prana will be very low. In any person, any addicted to anything, like for the stuff for addictive alcohol or anything, you see their energy will be very low. Their face will show that their prana is very low. They will not be having any enthusiasm. So Marma definitely helps. It has helped in many cases.
Also, how scientific is Marma? You have said that yes, it works at a very subtle level. How scientific, do we have any scientific principle based on which Marma works? If you could explain, throw some light on that.
It is a holistic. I told you, Marmas are the junction between the body, the gross body, and the subtle body. If anything that affects, if has an impact on the body as a whole, causal body is not to be, no need to take care of your causal body. Causal body is in perfect balance. Disease is what? The subtle and gross body going out of balance. And what could be a better thing than Marma, I'm wondering, to balance the energies of the gross and subtle body. It is so scientific because it is holistic. It's not you take medicine now, you take some treatment, and you're okay for today and tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow the symptoms come back. No, nothing like that. Once you are treated with Marma, the results are going to be long lasting, and it is consistently effective, repeatedly effective. It is not like a stray case you have sometimes once in a while, one in 100 people. No, if you take, there will be some sort of change in your entire system for sure. That if it takes a little while to be reflected on the physical body, you can mentally, immediately after the Marma, you can mentally feel that there is some healing that is happening already. It's a subjective feeling. If you go for scientific explanations, you need to be having a little bit more understanding about the principles of Ayurveda. I don't want to get into the details of that because the time is so short. It is scientific.
Yes, I'm sure. And we have this question from the medical fraternity where they are asking that, can Marma be integrated with modern allopathy care? And if yes, how effective would it be?
Marma can be integrated with any medical system because it's a standalone treatment module. Like if it is just like asking, can surgery be integrated into any medical system? Surgery is a standalone thing. Where medicines cannot help, you need to go for the surgery for sure. But in the case of Marma, whether the medicine is effective or not, you can integrate Marma into it. There is no contraindication by means of the type of medicine and treatment that you are taking. There are contraindications if the person's energy is not balanced to a certain extent. It can be avoided. Marma can be avoided because if there is any energy related complications that can happen in many ways, if Marma triggers something like that, then you have to be careful in giving Marma to such people. That's all. And that's also like not a big deal to handle, but still on a safer side, it's better to avoid such cases. Like chronic illnesses and some diseases which needs heavy medication. All these cases, it's better to take the advice from a medical practitioner.
And are there any Marma that we can use in cases of emergency? And if yes, in which form?
Emergency treatment, I think it has to be dealt in proper sessions like that. I don't want to comment on that because emergencies has to be handled very carefully. If you do something, some small little mistake also, it can be fatal. So there are ways to deal with that, but that is the subject of level 1, level 2, or level 3 of Marma. There is a protocol that everybody can follow. That is what we teach in the level 1 Marma. It's a general protocol for anybody and everybody. So once you are a master, because you need to understand certain things in that level 1, how this is effective, how this is functioning, what is working in Marma. These basic knowledge is required to understand little advanced practices.
Sure. And this comes down to the question that, where one can fully learn about Marma. And if one can learn, is there any such program that we can learn fully about uh, all the points of Marma, the 108 points they say. So can anybody learn this completely?
Yeah, 107 marmas are the distributed all over the body. But actually, for a general practitioner, you actually don't need to access all the 107 marmas. Like nadis are 72,000, I said, but for the requirement of balancing the body and mind to have a general well-being, you don't need to access the 72,000 nadis. You cannot access, if you are not a fully blossomed yogi, you cannot have the access to the 72,000 nadis. There you have 10 nadis. And then the 10 has come down to 3 nadis, Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. So basically, if you attend to the 3 nadis, you have access and indirect access to the 72,000 nadis. Similarly, it's actually not 107 marmas. It's more than that. It's a number of accessible marmas, and from that we have come down to less than 50 marmas, which is distributed all over the body again, which is good enough to balance. So there is a protocol called Sri Sri Marma. Fortunately, 30 years back when we started this, it was done by only doctors and trained therapists, senior therapists who are chosen, hand-picked therapists. So we didn't have more than 10 to 20 therapists all over the world, or actually, or in India, whole of India. Those who are working with the doctors in the Panchkarma centers were only doing. And by the grace, Gurudev has blessed us to start this protocol, make it available to the general public, and choose people who are regular meditators. We actually started with Art of Living teachers because they are considered as the regular practitioners of meditation, because they teach meditation, they understand the subtle energy, like that. So if you have done an advanced course, I think you are eligible. That is the eligibility criterion we have kept right now, advanced course in Sahaj Samadhi or something, regular. So we have a protocol, Marma protocol, taught in level 1 Marma, which can be taught to anybody who is having a regular practice of meditation.
So Bhaiya, level 1 and 2 of Marma training, and you also told us the eligibility to learn Marma. And so what are some of us we want to know what is the scope of learning level 2, and what are the career options that can be there after learning these two protocols?
I'm sure soon it's going to be like now. See, osteopathy, once upon a time when it was invented, few years back, it was not a curriculum-based learning. Some craniosacral, osteopathy, all this chiropractic, and what all these parallel treatment modalities were not taught in universities, and now the universities have started conducting courses, specific courses, postgraduate courses, and all. Marma is also on the way of becoming like that soon. But now level 2 is taught to the level 1 graduates who have quite some time experience of practicing level 1 Marma protocol. Level 2 is little more specific. Level 3 is going to be a little more specific and advanced. These are on the way. Level 2 is already there. Level 3 is like in the on the way of it is there. The course curriculum, it's everything is ready, but the people have to be ready to receive it. We have just recently we have started level 1 and level 2. Soon level 3 will also come.
So we also have some questions where people want to know whether this will, Marma will also help with gallbladder stones, hernia, umbilical, hernia, etc., etc. So
see, it's a healing that one initiates from within. And healing is not, you cannot define healing. How much, you cannot quantify healing actually. Not define. Definition is healing on a permanent basis. Whatever problems you have, you are able to get rid of it. That is called healing. And when as compared to cure, temporary cure. But you cannot quantify healing. You cannot generalize healing. To A and B will undergo the same treatment protocol and they heal at different pace, speed, and different quantity. So quantifying and generalizing healing is not possible. So I don't want to put a claim that Marma can heal everybody of everything. That's not possible. It's not a practical reality. But of course, so many cases have been reported, is being reported. We are getting a lot of healing experience, like the one I said right now, starting from that. People getting healed of generic and organic diseases. It's a commonplace nowadays. You talk to a Marma practitioner, they will have 100 healing stories to share with you. So certain things, gallbladder stone and all, if it is in an emergency state, as doctors suggest, you have to go by that treatment. If it is like a little time taking neurological complaints or musculoskeletal problems or some organ diseases or digestive issues, or even to the extent of like some cases of heart problems or liver diseases and kidney disorders, all these cases you can take Marma with the advice of a practitioner or a medical doctor without stopping the existing treatment that you are undergoing. That is what I suggest to people usually, because we don't know, there is no prediction possible in one person how many times of Marma, how many sessions of Marma it will take for you to heal completely. Are you getting it? It will be different for different people, so we don't suggest any of those things. So don't stop the treatment, existing treatment, present treatment modules, whatever you are going through. Don't stop it, but take Marma along with that.
Bhaiya, what is the difference between Marma and acupressure points? Somebody was also asking that, what is the difference between the gentle touch Marma therapy and rhythmic pressing of Marma point? So if you could throw some more light on that. And some doctors tell that, to apply oil on Marma point and massage. So what is the difference?
Yeah, these are all, as you mentioned, it's all different applications of the Marma. One is a little gross, one is a little subtle. One is using external materials like herbal paste, oils, aromatic oils, and some gemstones, metals, as I described. These are all different aspects of addressing the same thing. But it depends on, you cannot mix any of these things. I would rather suggest you stick to only one pattern. If you are doing Sri Sri Marma, it is the subtlest module of practicing Marma as far as my knowledge goes. So if you are using Sri Sri Marma, don't put a gemstone on the Marma along with that. You understand what I'm saying? So mixing the techniques will be a little confusing to the prana of the person, because we are not bringing anything from outside. We are just addressing, talking to the prana of the person in the subtle manner. We are inviting the attention of the prana to certain areas where there could be some blocks. So if you are confusing the prana, for example, if you access two marmas at the same time in two different areas and two different types of marmas at the same time, it could be a little bit of confusing to the prana. So it will not be as expected, the action. So practice gemstone. If you are practicing gemstone therapy on Marma points, do just that. If you are practicing Sri Sri Marma, the subtle way of doing it, just do that without mixing it with anything. So don't think it will be more helpful if you do this and this combined.
So the next question is, Bhaiya, what can a non-medical practitioner person can also be a good Marma practitioner?
Non-medical practice, yeah. That is what I said. Initially, it was medical professionals, paramedicals only. Right now, anybody can learn who is between the age group of 18 to 70, who has done advanced course and meditates regularly, who has a prescribed level of physical and mental fitness. They can all learn it. What I'm saying is, like, if you're suffering from pain or if your mind is not very balanced in some times, avoid giving marma to another person, because that will not be complete. The session will be, uh, the energies will be unbalanced.
Yes. And after learning Shri Shri Marma, how frequently can sessions be given or taken?
That is all described as an instruction, homegoing instruction in the marma training only. Because you need to, if I say something right now, you will have other questions. Why, like that. So all these whys are answered in the beginning. Then the instruction is given. Then you understand. Yes, that is why. So we have kept it as part of the instruction manual. All these: who to give, who not to give, when not, how to give, how not to give, what is your personal protocol, and what protocol you have to suggest to the person, and the room and the materials and the ampere of the room, the lighting, everything is discussed in proper. Nothing so big. Basic requirements, that's all.
Yes, I think we are also getting some more questions from people that, my father has Parkinson's, can it help? And I think you also explained that also, that we cannot claim anything, but as and
Yeah,
when we do it in
it
the
should
space
help.
of healing, we have seen so many.
Yeah, have the positive mind. Let the person also practice their meditations and pranayam. Any disease, any physical or mental disease, I would rather suggest, more important than meditation is pranayama, especially the abdominal breathing. That the first thing that we learn in art of living is called the abdominal breathing. So abdominal breathing, doing pranayama with attention to the breath, not thinking about something, and doing the pranayama. While doing pranayama, you become very strict about attending to the breath. Without that, the pranayama is not that effective. So do a lot of pranayama, like maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes of pranayama in one stretch you can do. Twice in a day you can do. Twice you can meditate and take marma. It should definitely help. There is no doubt.
Thanks, Bayat. That was very useful for us. We all know that there are two levels in Marma. So somebody was asking that, do we have more advanced Marma coming up in our training, or it's just this will be?
I have already answered it. Level 3
Yes.
will come sooner or later. That we have to decide. It's all depending on the requirement and the condition of the person. All these things we have to look into.
Yes.
And
And
Gurudev instructions.
yes. Does Marma have any connection with Meru Chikitsa?
No, it's a two different standalone treatment modules. Meru Chikitsa and Marma are entirely different things.
Okay. And acupuncture, what are the similarities of Marma and acupuncture? And if there are no similarities, what are the?
Yeah, acupressure points are also energy centers. As I understand, I'm not an expert in both of these. I've studied a little bit. But then their channel system, see, this Vata, Pitta, Kapha in Ayurveda is also there in many other practices like Chinese medicine, Unani and all. But their aspects are slightly modified, slightly different. Not exactly, but the basic principle is the same. I think similarly, acupressure have a similar root as Marma has. But the practices are different, the outlook is different, the approach is different, attitude is different, modules are different. You cannot say these both are the same.
I think that's pretty much. We have covered a lot of questions now, Bhaiya, and
Okay.
that was very insightful, I would say, very insightful and interesting. And we would really like to, for those who have not yet learned Marma, I'm sure that we will definitely go and learn Shrishi Marma.
I would emphasize on that seva aspect. See, bringing a smile, Gurudev always says spread smiles. So our presence, our words, our actions should be aimed at bringing a smile on the other person. This is like giving little solace. Suffering body, mind issues, ailments are brought to little more, like, you can bring a little relief to the people who need it. That is a punya vritti also. It's a lot of merit comes to your practice. And that is the reason why we say a Marma practitioner will improve their spiritual practices also slowly, because these merits will be added. As in advanced course, the seva is kept. You know why? What is the reason why seva is there? Doing seva enhances your meditation practices. So at the level of seva, Marma is a very good thing. And not being a medical practitioner, you are getting a chance, you are getting a punya to give relief to another person, is something beyond words.
That's wonderfully said, Bhaiya. Yes, indeed, that's true. Taking it in that seva bhav. Thank you so much, Bhaiya. And
Can I ask one question, please?
yeah, sure. Please go ahead, Rishiji.
Yes, can it be a professional career option as a Marma practitioner?
It can be. It can be, because you have a remuneration also. It can be a professional or even a side career, second career for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bhaiya, we just have one more question that just came up. Can Marma be given on localized points in case of need, or is it necessary to follow the complete protocol of Marma?
That is level 2.
Right. Fine. And do you offer consultations, and how can we contact you?
Of late, I've not been very regular in consultation and all. So this is after a long time. I've given a little time for describe, because I love to talk about Marma and Ayurveda. So I'm sorry, but there are very good doctors now. We have trained a lot of doctors, and Gurudev's blessings are there with everybody. You go by your gut feeling, choose any one doctor, and you'll get the best result.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, we have 2 more questions from participants. Do we take them, Bhaiya? One is Mr. Anish, who wants, yes, please.
Yeah. In brief, we'll answer that.
Yes. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Rashi.
Most commonly, where we give the therapy, they call us to give at home. But as per protocol, we not give on the bed. So which is the most common option we can think about the therapy?
You're a practitioner already, right?
Yes. Yes.
Why bed is not suggested is because if it is in the bedroom, and bed is not having a sattvic, for sleep the requirement is different, for healing the requirement is different, energies are different. For sleep you need a lot of tamas. So where you sleep, it will not be a very sattvic environment. That is the reason why healing can be a little slow there. You understand what I'm saying? So
yes,
we don't want to use the bed that you are using for sleeping. That is one reason. And if you can just suggest that everybody will have some little space in the corner, which is little not used for any activity, there you can keep a bed and do it with a little privacy. Not
okay.
a table. Or if you are
Okay.
using bed, cot, a thick carpet on it or a thick blanket on it, without using the mattress, and that will be, I think that will be better.
Oh, okay. Jai Gurudev.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Bhaiya. It was a wonderful interaction and we found it very useful. It was a pleasure to have this session with.
I'm sorry, Param. Unni has suggested something in the message box
So,
about the beds.
multiples that are portable, good option if it can be arranged.
Is it a suggestion? I didn't get it.
It's a suggestion by Uniji that Marma tables that are portable is a good option that can be arranged.
So the
Nothing like
trainer says the portable. He's a trainer. Dr. Unni is a trainer of Marma. He says it can be arranged to be delivered if you need a portable Marma table. So that problem is solved.
Bhaiya, somebody was also asking that if we can share any research document available on Sri Sri Marma or its link, with us.
I think it must be possible. Anish ji can be contacted. Anish ji's phone number or email ID can be shared here. You can ask, or maybe he can do that. It's all available, but not in a coordinated way yet because yeah.
He's already shared on the chat box. Rishi ji has one more question. Yes, please ask. You may ask, Rishi ji. Go ahead.
जय गुरुदेव मणिकंठन जी।
ऋषि जी बोलिए, कैसे हो?
मैं बढ़िया हूँ, थैंक यू सो मच। आप कैसे हैं?
बढ़िया।
जो आपने अभी थोड़े समय पहले बताया था ना कि मर्मा प्रैक्टिशनर जो हैं उनके साधना में और ध्यान में भी फर्क आता है, तो आई हैव आल्सो मर्मा प्रैक्टिशनर व्हिच आई बीन डूइंग फॉर सम टाइम नाउ, and I totally relate to what you said, that sadhana is deeper, and even during the Marma session now there is a different kind of I would say the environment physically as well as overall. So
Isn't it? Very good.
It's amazing. So thank you so much for bringing this to non-medical practitioners. I was waiting for very long, and then the COVID
Gurudev. It's Gurudev's instruction. Now we have
Yes.
started the process. We started few years back.
Thank you, Paramji, for letting me speak.
Welcome. Nice to hear your experience. Vikash ji has a question. Yes, please, Vikash ji.
Jai Gurudev Bhaiya.
Jai Gurudev.
Bhaiya, I have a question that right now you have said that the bed is not good for the person for having the healing and all. But if the person is in half coma, semi-coma, or in full coma condition, what would be the protocol in that case if we are giving marmas to the person?
These cases have to be dealt with the direct involvement of a medical practitioner.
Okay.
Let them decide, the doctor decide what has to be done, because otherwise it could be a legal issue later if you don't consult a doctor in these cases. Anything can happen in coma, whether that side or
the person is in semi-coma condition. He's got the hypoxia, and the thing is that there is an Ayurvedic doctor who had suggested for Marma itself. But the thing is that you said that there should be a separate bed or anything, but he is totally on a single bed. So in that case, what should I do for?
There is no option left, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, at least if 100, not 100%, at least be close to 90% or 80%.
So we can change the bed sheet and all?
Yeah. Normally you can do that. In special cases, I think if it is like I am the doctor, consultant doctor, I would suggest in special cases some little adjustments are okay. But anyways, you have consulted an Ayurvedic doctor, you are saying, you take the advice and suggestions from that doctor about this aspect also.
Okay, Bhaiya. Thank you so much. Jai Gurudev.
So some of us were asking how can we get tables. So you can contact the desk. You also share the number in the chat section. You can contact us. and all this, and even the recording that will also be shared with you, so that you can watch it again later on. All right. I think that's it now. There was one more question where they were asking that do we do seva to others?
Question. We can take this as a last question.
Yeah, we can take this as a last question. Can we start doing Marma seva to others after completion of level 1 or after completion of level 2?
Level 1, you become a Marma practitioner in the first session, first course itself, level 1 itself. That protocol you can apply according to, you'll be taught who to give, who not to give, all these things will be discussed. So you become a practitioner after the level 1. It's not like level 1 and level 2 is a completion of level 1. No, level 1 is a complete course by itself. You become a registered licensed Marma practitioner after level 1 immediately.
That's it, Dayat. So thank you so much.
I would rather want to clarify.
Yes,
Level
please.
1 is not one phase. You'll have to come for a evaluation program also, because once taught and once you start practicing, we need to make sure that you have expertise in practicing in the protocol. So there is an evaluation process, which is a very short session. You have to attend that. Once you attend that and get approval, you are a registered Marma practitioner then.
Yeah. So for all the details on the upcoming training programs in Marma, you may contact the Marma desk, which we have shared on the group, on the chat section. And any inquiries related to that, we can answer them.
Okay.
I think that's it. Thank you very much, Manikantan, for such a wonderful interactive session.
Thank you, Jai Gurudev. All the best to everybody.
Jai Gurudev.